Hey everybody, I'm Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. You have got to see this. If you are not a fan of Candace Owens, I highly suggest you go over to her YouTube channel and check it out. And she just dropped her brand new website where she's going to have complete control over her own material, whether it be videos, interviews, or documentaries that she self-produces. But this right here, she's talking about how Taylor Swift is now turning, at least publicly, turning against Blake Lively over the Justin Baldoni-Blake Lively lawsuits. And I want to tell you very quickly, if you are not up to date on what is going on with this, Taylor Swift and Blake Lively have been friends for years. Taylor Swift is the godmother to 3 out of the 4 children Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have together. The Daily Mail has run an article about how Taylor Swift is taking a step back from Blake Lively as dramatic legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. I'm going to read this to you and we're going to get into it, but I want to tell you something very quickly here. Nothing can threaten somebody's decade-long friendship more than the people that are in that friendship. If Blake Lively is telling the truth, her friend should be backing her. Okay, let's get into it. On August 6th of 2024, the premiere in New York City for the movie It Ends With Us took place. If you don't know, Justin Baldoni has released a voice memo talking about his experience at his own film premiere. He talks about how, as one of the CEOs and founders of Wayfarer Productions, they bought the rights to Colleen Hoover's book, It Ends With Us, and It Starts With Us, so they can make them into a movie and a sequel. He owns them. He's also the director, and he's also one of the 2 main characters in the film. But at the premiere on August 6th of 2024, he, his wife, his parents, friends have to go down to the basement to stay away from Blake Lively, who's upstairs, just to cut out any kind of bad publicity or drama. And if you haven't heard that voice memo, you should go look it up and listen to it because it's heartbreaking. It should have been one of the best nights of his career as somebody who has gone through all of this work and the director and the star of the film. It should have been one of his most celebrated happy days in his career. But it wasn't. Only 3 days later, on August 9th of 2024, the movie It Ends With Us comes out, and you can watch it on Netflix if you haven't seen it. 4 days after that, on August 13th of 2024, this person here posts on Reddit that she knows a lot, I'm assuming it's a she, knows a lot about the inside drama and she doesn't know who to share it with. So here we are, meaning that she's on Reddit to share what she knows. And this is what she posts, and thank you to Candace Owens for outing all of this, because this person here, all of this ends up coming true now. Like, all of this was real, and this was posted over 6 months ago. Let's dive in. Supposedly, Blake felt that Justin made her uncomfortable on set, talking about instances where he would say she looked sexy on set, basically with her clothing. Don't know the context around it, this person says. Apparently, Justin wasn't happy with the original editor's cut of the movie, so he hired his own team to do his version of the movie. Blake wanted to do her own version of the movie as a result, but Sony said no. Blake goes to Sony, threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was harassing her on set if they didn't give her her own version. Sony freaks out and says, okay, whatever you want. Justin is banned from the Sony lot. Not forever, but just for the run of her movie. But this person says they could be wrong. Blake hires Taylor Swift's music video editors to do her version while she's filming in Italy for something. Blake has friends and family screening to get their thoughts with lots of A-listers, Ben Affleck, Bradley Cooper, etc., etc. Everyone is like, question mark. The movie, her version, makes no sense. Blake realizes she needs to hire an experienced film editor to actually fix her version. Blake uses a Taylor Swift song in the movie, which is My Tears Ricochet, that the studio loves having in the film. Taylor Swift finds out that the original scorer and composer for the music of the movie is someone that she had worked with in the past, and that was, quote, mean to her, unquote. And she says, it is either that person or my song and me. And also, her music video editor. Sony then fires that composer to keep the Taylor Swift song. I think that's everything I know. What is absolutely crazy, though, is how could this person be so right about all of this? All of this is true. And what's crazy, though, is that Justin Baldoni was completely all in on Blake Lively having her own version of the movie, even though that was not her place at all as just the person who's playing Lily Bloom's, her character. Her version didn't test well at all with test audiences versus Justin's version, which did. And I think that angered her even more. That, my God, a woman actually could not compete with a man for a better version of the film. It's just how it tested with audiences. It's just the truth. It's just what happened. The crazy thing is the amount of ego and narcissism that somebody must have to be contractually in this movie to play this character and to want to dominate and assert so much control that's beyond your actual job description. It's beyond me. But usually in a film, when somebody is doing the scoring, composing the music, and they've already done their job, or they've already finished with their job, or they're close to being finished with their job. And it's different for each person who scores a movie. Some people can do it in weeks. Some people could do it quicker than that. Some people take months. But the fact is, they don't just drop their composer last minute and have to hire a whole new composer to score the whole movie. That's completely unheard of. The fact that Taylor Swift can say, oh, my song's not going to be in there, and Blake can't use my music video editor unless you guys get rid of that guy who's already been hired to do a job on the film. And the film does use Taylor Swift's song, My Tears Ricochet, and she's credited for it. But the new person that they hired to do the scoring for her version and for the film ends up being the person who's doing the scoring for Deadpool and was currently working on that.
So there was like a week of recording left on Deadpool, and I suddenly get a text from Blake, and she sent a little video saying, I'm doing this thing, need a score. Can you deliver it in a week? And I said, I don't think a week, but maybe 3 if we have 3. So that materialized, and so it was sequential. Was able to kind of finish up Deadpool, but I was going from the dub of Deadpool and going back to the studio at night working on Blake's film. So
in a week,
it was a little nutty. Well, it ended up being about a month.
I have to wonder. I mean, no interest in dishing, but was there a composer before that or did they just one day wake up and say, "Oh, we need a score. Call that guy who's doing my husband's movie. Maybe he has time." I mean, how do you end up getting a call with we're in that kind of a pinch? Unless I kind of guessed correctly.
Yeah, I think probably it was a scenario of a last second replacement.
That person was absolutely correct, but look at the credits. Gordon Reynolds and Candace Owens is right. Taylor Swift, Bradley Cooper, and everybody else needs to be subpoenaed in Justin Baldoni's trial, which is set for March 9th of 2026.